All right, a lot going on in this video, I know, so thank you for your patience as you hang with me. Watching increased rain here. I need to monitor that flood threat in a big system rolling through the United States. I'll show you that. That is going to drop into parts of Central America and parts of the Caribbean, plus a new earthquake overnight. I'll get to that in just a second. It just happened in parts of Central America. I'll have that as well in this video. So watching these two areas and a new earthquake and severe weather up to our north, that pattern is really hinting at some changes as we get closer to hurricane season. Now, we need to get some of the rain, but sometimes we get it too quickly, too much, all that sort of thing. What I've been watching overnight and early this morning, these are clouds, some of the extra clouds around here just feeding in. That's a sign that there's more moisture around, more moisture in the atmosphere. And eventually, as the atmosphere gets gets more moisture with it, we're going to see some rain that will be driving up to the north. So I'll show you that for us in the Eastern Caribbean and in the Southeastern Caribbean. Here's that big system in the United States. It's been day after day of a tornado threat, of a flood threat right in this area, Ohio River Valley, Tennessee River Valley. A big flow from the Pacific has been feeding in moisture, colder air back from the north, collision of air masses. Now, what's about to happen is that this system is finally going to make its move off to the east, and with it, drawing some more moisture from the Gulf and the Bay, and even bring in some rain and some thunderstorms to parts of Central America, and then watching that spot as well back toward the Eastern Caribbean. So let me zoom down first. We have a lot to cover, and then I'll start to expand out, get into the wave heights, the rain totals specifically. You see some of the scattered showers possible today. Trinidad and Tobago, for the most part, St. Lucia, Barbados, it would be to the south, hit or miss, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. By tomorrow, you see a few of the showers starting to lift to the north. It's not a washout. That's the thing. Some of us are going to get some rain, others not a whole lot. I know we need to fill up the cisterns in spots. A lot of us need the rain, but by Tuesday, that's when we'll see a better chance. Tomorrow into Tuesday, again, some spots dry, others getting some rain. It'll be on the move. And then even by Wednesday, some of this is going to feed up to the north. So we have a decent chance of rain from Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent, the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad, northeastern Venezuela, just not all at once and not constantly. So zooming down to just get a feel of some of the potential rain totals here. Here's Trinidad and Tobago, and you see this spot of white here, especially over toward Tobago. That is showing 100 millimeters of rain or 4 inches of rain. Now, this is a 3-day total, so I mentioned not all at once. We may get some rain, get a break, and get some more rain. But here's the thing. This is a computer model. This area of white may be over here or may simply be over the water. So this just gives us a feel that some of us have a chance to get some higher totals of 100 millimeters of rain. If that happens over one of our islands in the Eastern Caribbean, that could lead to some flooding, some flash flooding. That's some flooding that kind of comes up pretty quickly. So we'll be watching out for that. But others, maybe not a whole lot. You see this blue shading in here. That would be maybe 10 to 25 millimeters of rain, under an inch of rain. So some areas get it, some areas don't. Here, let's start to expand out now. Here we are. You can see some of the scattered areas of rain later today, southeastern Caribbean. Here's that front, and you see it. This is what's going to be moving off to the east. It'll even give us a few thunderstorms later this week as we work our way into Jamaica. A couple thunderstorms, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, interior Honduras, as this front starts to approach. Now, as we get into tomorrow, this is our Monday, and you see a couple of things here. One, there's that moisture, Guyana and Suriname, that I've been tracking the last few weeks, lifting to the north, and then here comes that front. That'll drive a severe weather threat over toward Florida, and eventually even some stronger storms possible, northern Bahamas. But look at the rain picking up near Merida, Campeche, Cozumel, Cancun, not all day. Rain picking up Belize, Honduras. This here is on Tuesday. So you see that this is with that front that's moving in, and that could even give us a few scattered areas of rain and storms, Cayman Islands and Jamaica, just as that front approaches. And there's that rain, St. Lucia, Barbados, the chance of it trying to lift up toward Guadeloupe, Dominica, seeing that chance of rain. You see it's just kind of feeding in, and we'll see if this shakes out. This is down the road. We'll see how close some of this rain gets to us in St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda. And now as this front moves into the Bahamas Tuesday to Wednesday, chances some scattered showers and storms, Cuba, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, on the edge of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Still that pocket of rain over toward Honduras, down through Nicaragua. But this is a change, right? We are getting very close to the hurricane season now. This is telling me we're starting to get that pattern change as we inch closer to the wet season for a lot of us. We're starting to get some of those changes in the environment, in the atmosphere, and that's what I'll be tracking as we get closer to the hurricane season. Here's a different vantage point. Lots to cover in this video, I know. Here's Cozumel, Campeche, get over toward Merida. Some spots will get around an inch of rain or 25 millimeters of rain, but there'll be these pockets in Belize, maybe northern Honduras near Roatan, some of our islands, where again, like I was showing you over toward Trinidad and Tobago, there'll be some pockets, Guatemala potentially, where we get some spots of about 2 to 4 inches of some rain or 50 to about 100 millimeters of rain for a 3-day total. Here's a closer and look closer to the water, better chance of getting some higher totals. Here's Belize City, get over toward Big Creek, Punta Gorda. Here's Roatan, some of our islands here. So just watch and we'll see how this shakes out, but scattered areas of rain, but there will be some downpours with that. Now the winds, it was really windy last week for a lot of us. Winds will be gusting in out of the east. I'll zoom up to the U.S. and Canada in just a second and touch on that earthquake, but some gusty winds will be with us still today, especially over toward the ABC Islands, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire. But look at this. Here's the Bay of Campeche. Winds gusting out of the north here as we go throughout the day. Some of the gusts 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles per hour. Winds coming across Honduras and Belize, more out of the southeast. So that's that collision of air masses. That's the front that is sitting right in here, and that's what's going to give us the scattered areas of rain here. Still some gusty winds at times, but not as bad as last week throughout much of the Caribbean. But here's that dividing line there, the winds out of the north for western Cuba. Once we work our way into Tuesday, strong winds in parts of Central America coming off Mexico as we get over toward the Pacific side, and that easterly flow will stay with us throughout much of the week as we swing back toward the Central and Eastern Caribbean. But those seas are really high. Look at the Bay of Campeche. You can see right here some of those yellows and oranges showing up 3 to about 4 meters. So we're looking at about 11 to almost 14 feet in some spots. Meters here, feet on the right-hand side of your screen. This is on Monday, and you see right over toward the bay, everything elevated, including the Gulf and the Caribbean. But things relax a little bit, Gulf and Caribbean, once we get into Tuesday, watching the offshore waters, though, near Bermuda, where the seas are going to build over 5 meters, over 15 feet, approaching 20 feet in spots in some of those open waters of the Atlantic as we go forward. All right, getting a look at the kind of top side of all of this, here's that severe weather threat that is on the move for later today, parts of the southeast United States, tornado threat again. Top side of this with the backside with that some colder air sneaking and that chance of rain and snow today, parts of the Atlantic region of Canada. And then you see the front, as I mentioned earlier in the video, it's finally on the move, moving to the eastern seaboard of the U.S. This is what clips us by in the Caribbean and Central America. Moving offshore as we work our way into Tuesday. Could see some scattered showers by the middle of the week in Bermuda. Still some cold air on the north side that could bring us a mix of rain and snow. Avalon Peninsula, New Brunswick, over toward Quebec, watching out for some snow showers as we get into the week ahead. Now I want to get back to this earthquake. This one just happened, 4.9 in magnitude, about 37 kilometers down, 23 miles down. So many of us did feel it in Guatemala, parts of Honduras, Nicaragua, and El Salvador. Even if you live in northern Costa Rica, you may have felt this. So I'll keep an eye on this area. 4.9 in magnitude, usually less than 5, we're okay. Relatively shallow and just offshore. No reports of damage or anything at this time, being less than 5 in magnitude. That is helpful, but you may have felt that quake. Again, this one just happened. I'll monitor that to see if we have any additional quakes as we go throughout the day. Now, as far as rain goes, best chance of rain over the next 3 days, watching over toward, I mentioned the northern Bahamas as that front moves in tomorrow into Tuesday. We may get a couple spots of an inch, maybe more of rain, 25 millimeters of rain, or a little bit more. Jamaica, we're looking at some spotty showers. That'll be a little bit more midweek. We're going to get some scattered showers and storms as that pattern changes, maybe a couple showers as well in the Cayman Islands. But overall, the rain total is not too terribly high. Here we are in the northeastern Caribbean, but deeper into the week, I mentioned St. Kitts and Nevis, even Anguilla, Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, Saba. I'll see if this moisture from the southeast Caribbean lifts up to the north, but here's that chance of some higher totals, especially as we work our way through later today, tomorrow, into Tuesday, and we'll see how much of this clips our islands by Barbados, St. Vincent, the Grenadines, and Grenada. Still that high chance of rain, Suriname, Guyana, in northeastern Venezuela with some totals around 75 to 100 millimeters of rain. And here's that extra rain near the Yucatan Peninsula, parts of Mexico as a whole, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, El Salvador, scattered areas of rain, Costa Rica, Panama, just off of the water south as we get into Colombia, better chance of rain. Not a lot, Mexico City, and with that front on the move, the southern, southeastern United States, several inches of rain as that flood threat continues, but also that tornado threat. So you see, as we get into Tuesday, we're looking at a 50% chance of scattered showers and storms in Jamaica. We get back through the Cayman Islands, you see on Tuesday, about a 50% chance of some scattered showers. Here we are in Trinidad, and you see the rain chance, it's not 100%, which means not all of us are going to get the rain, but it is elevated, a 50 to 60% chance. So I hope you get some much needed rain, but I'm going to monitor that flood threat in case we get it a little bit too quickly in spots. As the week goes on, you see the rain chance picking up in Barbados and St. Lucia. We'll be seeing how this rain kind of drifts to the north and how much of it hangs together. Grenada, we're going to see that rain chance build, 40% chance tomorrow, 60% chance on Tuesday, and you see a 50% chance of rain. St. Vincent, the Grenadines, scattered showers lifting in from the south, moving up to the north tomorrow into Tuesday. Martinique, rain chance bumps up on Tuesday. We'll see a bump up as well on Dominica. We'll see how much of this rain kind of hangs together. 30 to 40% chance in Guadeloupe the next couple of days. Next few days, Antigua, Barbuda, mainly on the dry side, and a 20 to 30% chance. St. Kitts and Nevis in Montserrat. Rain chance staying low. Anguilla and St. Bart's, generally a lot of sunshine. St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, 20 to 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm the next 3 days in Puerto Rico, and about a 20% chance the next 3 days, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. We'll watch tomorrow into Tuesday, northern Bahamas, Freeport. Watch it over toward New Providence. Better chance of rain and some scattered storms on Tuesday. Turks and Caicos, though, were mainly dry, 20 to 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the Dominican Republic. Rain chance pretty low in Haiti, kind of in between systems. One area of rain to the east, one back to the west. But Belize, you see our rain chance bouncing up. I'll be watching your comments. Leave your location, no matter where you are, leave your location if you do get some rain as we continue with this weather community so some folks could see what we're getting, what we're not getting in spots. Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, where we also need some rain. There's been a few spotty showers nearby the next last few days, but rain chance holding at about 20 to 30% chance. Guyana and Suriname, there's that high chance. Suriname the next 2 days, still that 70% chance of rain. That is the rain that is lifting up to the north. Cuba will be watching that front move by, especially western and central sections deeper into the week with some scattered areas of rain. Costa Rica, Panama, 50 to 60% chance of scattered showers. Nicaragua, we're up to 50% chance on Tuesday and a 50% chance in Honduras as we work our way into Tuesday. I'll monitor that flood threat. Guatemala and El Salvador, you see with that front that's going to be moving by, a 50% chance of rain today, but a 70% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. Mexico City, we're mainly dry. Then we swing back toward the Yucatan Peninsula. The front scrapes by with that chance of rain. Best chance will be tomorrow. Northern Colombia, 20 to 30% chance. Northern Venezuela, 40 to 50% chance. And Bermuda the next 2 days, generally dry. We'll watch as we get into Wednesday, see how much of this front is left as it starts to move in. So kind of watching these two areas, the front in one spot, the moisture in the southeastern Caribbean. So we have that front entering Central America the next 2 days, some of that rain in the southeast Caribbean. I'll be watching that flood threat. And again, that new earthquake that just happened in parts of Central America, I'll monitor that spot as we go forward. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe. Have a really good day ahead.